Hey guys, ever wonder how people put the songs together and how you know what chords are going to sound good when you're doing it? Part of it's by ear, but there's also a method called 1-4-5 method that you can easily find the three major chords that sound good in a song, and find the minor chords that sound good with that. We're going to be going over all that now and just how easy it is to pick out chords that would sound good in songs. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll get started. Click on like, subscribe, comment, and we'll get started as soon as we roll the intro.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Hey, we always start these videos with the basics. Coffee. So hey guys, today I want to go over this. There's a thing you'll hear about on there called the 1-4-5 method. When you're writing music, this 1-4-5 method is really helpful for finding notes that sound good. Like if you're wanting to find some notes to put into a song. And it's real easy, like looking at the musical alphabet up here at the top, you can see, you know, there's only 7 notes. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So just remember that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So to find what your chords that would sound good in a song, let's say you say, okay, I want to write this song in the key of A, you know. So A would be your first note. That's the 1 in the 1-4-5 method. And then if you counted to the 4th one, so A, B, C, D. D is your 4th note, so that's your 4. And then your next one is the 5th note, you know, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be A, D, and E. So, you know, the 5th note is your 5 chords, so you're going to be looking at, you know, if you counted, you know, E, F, G, A, let's say you wanted to do it in A, it's going to be your A. Let's say you wanted to find that D, would be the next note down. So the reason I wanted to show you guys this is that really it breaks down to some really simple stuff on guitar. And being able to play songs and put chords that sound good together, you know, whenever you're finding them. So if you played that, if you just found those notes and went, you found that one, which is your A, and then you could go that next string, A, B, C, D, and then that 5th note is going to be your E. So if you went down even to those basic chords, you know, A, D, E, so those chords are going to sound good together. That's your 1-4-5. And that works anywhere down the neck. The other one, if you're playing things more with bar chords like rock or blues or something, it's a real simple L shape. So to find your 1-4-5 real easy on the guitar, you can just, let's say it's A. A, go 1 note down is your 4, and then 2 frets up is your 5th. So it's just that L shape. So if you were playing the chords, you could just, you know, that works here. You know, you got your G, C, and D. G, C, D. That's your 1-4-5. And this 1-4-5 thing is used throughout music a lot. You know, that's your main major chords right there that sound good. You know, I mean, those are always going to sound good together. So looking at this paper, to find those, I put a little practice chart on here where you can kind of practice. Like here's your musical alphabet. So if you were going to take your B, so your B would be your first chord here, right? So I mean technically you could just put a B in there. And then what's going to be your fourth chord? So if you just went right here, went 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to be an E. 5 is going to be F. So if you took for your fourth chord, you could sit there and take an E. And then your fifth chord is that next note down, which would be an F. So you could put an F in there, and now you just found for the key of B, you found your 1, 4, 5 chords. You know, so if you're doing it on paper, this is how easy it is with these 1, 4, 5 to find chords that'll sound good in a chord progression. So anyway, just wanted to kind of go over some of that with you, and on here it's just that. That even works on the next string down. So let's say you found it in C, the next note down, you know, is going to be the same things, the chords that sound good. So you can take this note, this note, this note, or this note, this note, this note, this note, this note, this note. So anyway, just wanted to give you that tip before we get started into the circle of fifths. It is that easy to find your chords that sound good together. So hey guys, so anyway, I wanted to start out the video just showing you really how simple it is on the guitar. You know, find your 1, 4, 5s. It's just remember that L shape. This one, the next string down, and 2 frets up. Yeah, I mean, you can find your 1, 4, 5 on any note and scale that way. I want to go over the theory though. This video is about circle of fifths. So if you look up here, I have a circle of fifths that I drew out. So this circle of fifths, if you take any note on here, you'll see this thing is written out so that I want to show you some things I did here. If you take this circle of fifths chart, and this is used by many musicians, studios, I'm telling you, a large percentage of them use the circle of fifths, the technical musicians. So I wanted to go through the theory just so you understand what it is. To get to playing, you can use first technique to find some of that, but this tells you a lot more. This would be a good thing to have printed out and everything. So from the circle of fifths chart, if you take a root note, let's just take C for instance. If you took C and you go one space to the left, that's your 4 chord. If you go one space to the right, that's your 5 chord. And I wanted to show you just kind of right back here, you know, this is the one where we were talking about that 1, 4, 5. You got your musical alphabet like I was talking about earlier. So if you took this note, that's this fifth, that's that A. You took that A, and this is going to be, let's say, right here in the key of A, and you look on this chart right here. If you look like I showed you, one string down is your D, 2 frets up is your E, so it's A, D, E. If you look right here, A, go one space to your left, that's D, one space to the right is E. You go C, one space to the left, so if you find C on here, see it on the 8th fret on this notes on the guitar, C. So on the guitar I was showing you go down and over, right? So if you go C, F, G, look right here, C, F, G. So you can look anywhere for any note on here and find your circle of fifths real fast. You know, especially if you're doing it more on paper, you need to be able to look at stuff. The other beauty of this is on this thing, if you look down just below here, see this minor note below it? If you look at that, the note right below your root note, like if you were in C, the note right below it says A minor. That's your relative minor. That means any scale, if you're playing a C scale, that C scale can also be played over the A minor and sound good the same scale. So, you know, like for your C and the A minor, let's say you were playing in G and using E minor as a relative minor. G, E minor. So if you took the A and the F sharp minor, you know, this same, you know, that same scale could be played either over A or F sharp minor. So, you know, you can play that same scale over both of them. So, you know, that would be actually. You can play that same scale you would normally be playing for C over that. So you got your A, and you got your F sharp would be your relative minor. So. So if you need to take a screenshot of that, you can see here I kind of mark, take C, you know, see how I put a 1, a 4, and a 5, showing that one space to the left is your 4 chord, one space to the right is your 5th chord. Anyway, so if you go down, I'll also explain this, but you can take a screenshot of it if you want to. But basically also one space below the root is your relative minor on this chart. So this is a real helpful thing. Like, you know, at one of the bands I was in one time, we had this blown up real big and kind of hung on the wall so we could always see it. Because that relative minor can go into a song. Another thing I wanted to go over with you, this is the chord number. So really any of these chords, so if you take like in the key of C right here, here's your 1, your 4, your 5. Well, these notes are the 2, 6, 3. And you can remember it. That's for any chord you take. If it were A, it'd be A, D, E, B, F sharp, C sharp. So, and these are common chord numbering. So let's say you were sitting there with a band, you're writing a song. Hey, let's play this in the key of C. Let's start on the 2 chord. That would be starting on this D minor and playing it like that, because it's real common. These are the notes that go together. They don't have to be played in this order. So you can start the song on the F chord and go to the G and go to the 2. So, you know, that's up to you sitting there. You know, when you're composing the music, there's a million ways to do it. But keep in mind, any of these chords are going to sound good. So when you get your 1, 4, 5, the minors under those will sound good. When you're playing your C, your relative minor, you can play that same scale on top of that and, you know, sound good doing it. So anyway, if you need a screenshot of that, get it. So to find all the chords that'll sound good, you start one space to the left. So if you want to find all the chords you could actually put in that song, if you take like a C, go one space to the left. So if you start from the F and count 7 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any of these chords from F all the way down to B will sound good in a song. So when you're looking right here, the first 3, let's say you take C. So the first 3 chords are your major chords. Your second 3 are your minors. Look at this, D, A, E. When we did 1, 4, 5, what are they? D, A, E. So, you know, you already have the minor chords in here, but if you just wanted to use that outer ring, go one space to the left, count 7, you have all of them. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This second 3 are your minor chords, and this seventh note, the B, that chord would be, you would play that as a diminished chord. Would sound good. So you got your major, your minor, and your diminished chord would sound good. And sometimes you can, there's a secondary dominant chord that kind of creates tension in different songs. And you could do the seventh chord of one space to the right of root. So if you're playing in the key of C, and you can look this up on Google, but if you played a G, that gives kind of some tension and build up in a song. So if you look up whichever key you're playing in, go one space to the right and play the, that seventh chord of a G. Instead of playing a G, play a G7. Then, that really gives it kind of a build up and more tension for the song feel to it. So, and you can, these here, so you take C, this is your major chords. If you go, these three spaces to the right, any of these minors or these can be borrowed chords to add in for change ups within the song. So even these chords, you can borrow those chords. You don't want to play them predominantly all the time in it, but you can borrow those chords for parts in a song and have it still sound good. So anyway, just wanted to go over that was some of the circle of fifth and chords and stuff like that as it relates to chords. I'm going to go through a little bit more theory with the notes. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm already working on part 2. I should have that done in a couple of days, a week or something like that. So anyway, please click on the like, subscribe, click on the bell to be notified when we release videos. That way you'll see the second one. It's going to go over a lot more theory. Then I'll start kind of going over some techniques on the guitar. But, people are going to talk about the circle of fifths, so it's a good thing to do it. So make sure you click on the like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you on the next video.